Something big seems to be happening with Tesla's Robotaxi program. A whole series of recent events, from real-world chaos to a massive, quiet expansion, really suggest that they might have just crossed a crucial point of no return. So let's dive in and see what's actually happening on the ground.
And it all kind of kicks off with this really bold claim from Elon Musk, right in the middle of some citywide chaos. Now, this wasn't some controlled test. This was a real-world stress test, and the outcome, well, it was pretty surprising.
So picture this. A major power outage hits San Francisco. It knocks out traffic lights, total confusion on the streets. For any autonomous vehicle company, this is like an unexpected high-stakes final exam. And the results? They revealed a really fundamental difference in how these cars actually see the world.
And this slide just lays it out perfectly. On one side, you have the problem. We saw reports and videos of a ton of Waymo vehicles, which really lean on high-definition maps, just freezing up when the traffic lights went dark. They just couldn't compute, and it created gridlock. But then you look at the other side. Tesla's reportedly just kept on driving, treating those dead intersections exactly like four-way stops, which is just what a human driver is supposed to do. So what gives? What's the difference here? It all comes down to their core design.
See, Tesla uses what's called an end-to-end neural net. Now, that sounds super technical, but think of it this way. Instead of some programmer having to write a million lines of code like, if the light is out, then do this, the AI learns how to drive simply by watching billions of miles of real-world video. So it's not just following some pre-drawn map, it's actually developed a kind of intuition for driving. That includes how to handle chaos, because it's already seen countless weird situations in its training data. And you don't have to take my word for it. Here's the confirmation, straight from the horse's mouth. A post from the Tesla AI team spells it out plain and simple. Their system works in these situations because it has already been trained on them. It's not about having a specific rule for a power outage. It's about learning from so much real-world driving that the unexpected, well, it's not so unexpected anymore. Okay, so that's the tech. Let's move to the next piece of this puzzle, because this is where it gets really interesting. The scale. Having the technology is one thing, right? But a robotaxi network is pretty useless without a whole lot of cars, and it looks like Tesla has been very quietly getting ready for a massive ramp-up. So, let's set the baseline. Just a few months ago, if you looked at public records, Tesla only had 28 vehicles registered for its ride-hailing service in California. I mean, that's a tiny number. It's basically a small-scale test, nothing more. But then, look at this. That number has reportedly exploded to over 1,600. That's a jump of nearly 60 times. That is a crystal clear signal that they're shifting from a tiny pilot program to preparing for a huge commercial launch. And here's the crucial takeaway. We don't know exactly how many of these are on the road today, but these registrations are a massive leading indicator. You just don't register over 1,600 cars unless you have a very serious plan to use them very, very soon. The ramp-up is happening right now, behind the scenes. But it's not just about getting from point A to point B anymore. The actual intelligence inside the car is evolving. It's becoming less of a simple navigator and more of a conversational chauffeur that can actually reason about the world around it. Okay, check out this story from a user. His Tesla drove right past two closer parking lots and headed for one that was further away. He was kind of frustrated, so he drove back to the other lots himself. And guess what? They were completely full. So he gets back in the car and asks the AI, Grok, a simple question. How did you know? And the AI's response was just fascinating. It apparently said it had real-time parking data from other Teslas that had just driven through that area. Now, even if this feature isn't fully rolled out everywhere yet, it totally reveals the endgame, right? A future where the entire fleet acts as one giant live information network, giving every single car this superhuman awareness of what's happening around it. And the kinds of commands these cars can handle now is just growing exponentially. Just look at this example from another user. They can now string together a whole bunch of destinations and actions, like go to Home Depot, then find a supercharger near me, then find a park with paved trails. And the car just figures it all out. It plans the entire multi-stop trip in the right order, all from one single voice command. That's incredible. I mean, this is a completely new level of interaction. People are telling their cars to go through a drive-thru, to park closer to the entrance of a store, to reverse park on command, to get out of the carpool lane. It's moving so far beyond simple navigation and into a real, genuine chauffeur experience, all handled with natural language. So you might be asking yourself, how is this all happening so fast? How can the AI handle both a citywide blackout and these complex conversational commands? Well, the answer to all of it is the same thing: data. An incredible, almost unbelievable amount of data. Get this. Tesla owners have now driven nearly 7 billion miles with the full self-driving supervised system turned on. That is just an unparalleled data set of real-world driving. It includes all the strange, unpredictable edge cases you could never program for. This is the fuel that powers its neural net. And you know what? People are starting to notice. As the technology rolls out to new countries like Australia, the first media reviews are just striking. They're not just saying, oh, it's a good driver assist feature. They're calling it transformational. They're saying things like, driving will never be the same, and it's as close to a robot car as you can get. So when you start to put all these different pieces together, the technological proof, the logistical scaling, the advancing AI, and that massive data advantage, it really starts to paint a very, very clear picture. Let's just recap what we've seen. The ability to handle real-world chaos? Check. Proven in that San Francisco blackout. The ability to scale up? Demonstrated by that massive jump in vehicle registrations. The AI? It's evolving into a true conversational chauffeur. And it's all built on an absolutely unmatched foundation of nearly 7 billion miles of real-world data. It feels like every single pillar is falling right into place. And that brings us to the final question. I mean, of course, there are still challenges ahead. Regulatory approval, widespread public trust, those are still big hurdles. But when the core technology is proving itself in real-world chaos, the fleet is clearly ready to scale, and the AI is getting smarter every single day, the question starts to feel less like if this will happen, and more like how quickly the rest of the world is going to catch up. Have we already passed the point of no return?